Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be breaking down the stock market. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you're really serious about trading and you want to do this full time, you want to trade, you want to do a lot of swing trade, definitely check out my link down below in the description. And yes, I'm actually doing 5 days a week live trading as well. So check out that link, guys. And now let's get right into the market. So a couple of things you can see: new Trump tariff collection hits 200 billion, customs says, and then we got Zillow shares are getting crushed. And that's because things are just not looking good, too good for the economy. The second thing, what market is doing right now, it's just range bound. Dow, after hitting their all-time high, even today was really close to all-time highs. It actually backed off and pretty flat for the day. You can see also here, advancing 35%, declining 61%. Nasdaq going down 0.59%, S&P down 0.16%, and Russell going down 0.76%. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. We got healthcare leading the way on top, utilities, consumer defensive, and then because of Tesla, consumer cyclical, and some financial names as well. But you can see technology, energy, communication services getting hit today, and technology took the most. It was down over 1%. Stock market map. What do we have here on stock market map? We got Costco took a big hit today, down about 3%. Tesla, that was the main thing today. The main focus was robotaxi, and Tesla is up 3.56%. Eli Lilly, another one, up 3.38%. Then we got Meta, 0.5%. Google down 0.35%. Amazon going down 1.61%. Apple down 1.5%. Microsoft going down 0.78%. Nvidia was up today 0.73%. But despite Nvidia going up, look at right here. Broadcom took another hit, down 5.59%. And then we got Oracle going down again 2.66%, PNW 3%, CrowdStrike going down 3.43%. And it just not overall, good looking market today. It was a lot of chop. We have some data coming out tomorrow, ADP employment, and then non-farm payrolls. Then we have the big ones, especially going into Thursday. We have CPI, core CPI. That's going to come out Thursday, 8:30, just before opening. And on Friday, we also have Michigan consumer sentiment. And these events, these data can definitely move the market. And now let's get right into S&P 500. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Now, quick reminder, I'm still here. It's not EK Network anymore. We did rebranding for the channel. Wall Street Market Insight is the new name, and the rebranding is across the board on Patreon, on Discord, and even on my X page. But I'm still here. A lot of people, probably will look at it and say, oh, maybe he sold the channel or something happened. Maybe he got hacked. But no, we just got a really nice setup for the channel because I think, the channel that I started with, it was about actually me, but it's not. We talk about Wall Street, stocks, money and all that, profit, success. So we need to talk about Wall Street, and I think that's the right name for the channel, and that's why we got that rebranding. But I'm still here, guys. It's not like it's got sold or something. Just wanted to give you guys that update because I know a lot of people probably didn't even see that coming. Now, what's going on here on SPY ETF? Couple of things, guys. Nasdaq finally came down, did close that gap from a couple of weeks ago, that 610 gap. SPY, that gap is still open. So I think what's happening, they're not coming down at the same time like everything, especially when you look at Dow, it's trading in a different range, IWM and SPY here. Today again, but this is the key zone, that 679. I mean, I don't know what to say here. This rejection, that's 679 to 680, guys, and that dark pull order right there just holding up. Even today, we did not get under 679. So I think going into tomorrow's session, that non-farm payroll maybe can do that trick. We get to see a move down here to this gap. And This is almost now, I would say 80%, maybe even 90% chance you're going to see this gap getting filled very soon. So here on SPY ETF, we did hold that critical zone right here, that bottom of this range around that 679 to 680. But again, what happened earlier this morning, guys? It got up to that 685 and immediately, quick rejection there came, sold off, so gave back almost $6. That is, uh, pretty large move to the downside in just a matter of like couple of minutes. So if this thing can get over that 682, currently holding at 680, we do have support there. And if it can get over that 682, we might get to see a move up to 685. Once we get over that, whether through CPI or maybe even that non-farm payroll or Michigan sentiment, something that is good. If we get over 685, then yes, we might be going into that uh, brand new all-time high and maybe even that 700 mark. You can see the upper Bollinger Band expanded, but the ETF is not there yet. So if it wants to go now, it can go because it has room. To the downside, if it cracks below that 679, 680, to the downside, if it cracks below that 679, 680 range, I think it's going to come down here to close the gap at 676, and it will have confluence from these moving averages as a support right here. And you can see these two are here, the 20-day and the 50-day moving average. What's going to look really ugly come end of the week into Christmas next week, especially if we get some sort of a big bearish candle on the weekly time frame like this one here, or even this one, and we just get under this gap under these moving averages. That's going to look extremely bearish, especially going to Christmas, and who knows, maybe going into the new year. On triple Q, it's down 0.5%, so a nice gap fill right here today at 610, and we're just holding right there. But one more thing, intraday, after filling the gap, we went back up to 613, and look at these moving averages right here, guys. 613.56, look at the 20-day here, 613 pretty much exactly there. Previous rejection, even this rejection now acting as a resistance right here. So if triple Q wants to move higher, it needs to get over 613. That's the key range. And this morning, where we got rejection earlier, we had a mini gap up and go. It was 617. We got slightly over that, came back. So, first of all, if it's bullish, it needs to hold 610. It needs to get over 613 and then 617. Then you're going to see a move up to the 5-day, which is around 620, and then maybe even come up and retest these highs, maybe even fill this gap end of the week. But the way things are looking, it's definitely not looking good below these moving averages right here. So if Nasdaq falls below these moving averages and does not recover, guess what? Dow and S&P will definitely follow, and then Russell will come along as well. So watch out for that 610 support. If that don't hold, we might be going down to 604, possibly even flat 600. On Dow Jones, it's absolutely flat on the day, and we got up to 488 almost today, and it was a rejection there. We did not produce another brand new all-time high here on Dow, and you can see what happened intraday. We came close to breaking this previous all-time high. We actually came under. We traded for a little bit under that level, and then because of the 5-day sitting right below that 483.24, somehow bulls were able to hold up here at that previous all-time high 484.44. So if that holds up, we might get to see a move back up to the upside, which is going to be that 489 to 490, maybe even 492. To the downside, if S&P also coming down and filling that gap. Look at where this gap is. The same time they gapped up. 471.9, right? Huge downside. And that's why when things are trading at all-time highs, we shouldn't be going and chasing. Wait for the right setup. It will come to you and you will make money. But if you're just impatient and you're running around and doing and going all over the place, you're not going to make money. So that 484.44 gives up that previous all-time high. We could be coming all the way down to 480 here on Dow, and who knows, maybe we're down to 476. On IWM, it's down 0.76%. So all I saw over the weekend, all over the X, was Fed injecting $40 billion, and here we go. Bitcoin to 150, and stock market is just gonna boom. That's just not how it works. They're injecting money, they're buying debt. There is a reason, because something is broken. And if something is broken and you're just putting a band-aid on it, that's just not bullish, right? I hope you guys got the point. So just saying it's gonna happen, this and that, Santa is coming and all that. Look at where IWM is trading. This is a failed breakout to the upside, guys. I mean, yes, I know this is day one. We need to see another day closing below that previous high, which was 252 and some change right here. Uh, it's trading below 252, well below. So we need to see tomorrow. If this thing does not hold here at 252, that's not a good signal for the market, because if this is a fake breakout to the upside and we're pulling back in, what's coming next? We got to be aware of that, right? So here on IWM, we need to recapture, reclaim. We're not even holding the 5 day. We need to get over not only 252, we need to get over 254 for this thing to turn really bullish and starts moving higher into all-time highs. If this thing remains below 252, that's not bullish. It's going to get down to 248, 245, and even lower. If something is broke inside and they're just putting a band-aid, like those $40 billion buying debt, it's just not good news for the economy and for the market. Market could be happy when it heard that $40 billion they're buying, but overall, I mean, when it comes to liquidity is just not enough, guys. It needs trillions of dollars, and 40 billion is just not going to be enough to stop bleeding, especially if you're putting a band-aid on it. So something is broke. Only Powell knows. These people that are working, they know what actually broke. We will know very soon, but you know, we get the late news. That's how it is. So watch out here on IWM 252 and then 254. We need to get over the 5 day, and then it's heading back up to that 258 zone. Otherwise, 248 next stop, and then 245. On VIX, it's up 4.83%. So it was slightly up today. And you can see we're still trading in this range. And this is where this thing can spike back up to the upside. It's got over 16. Now it needs to hold 16. If that happens come tomorrow or maybe even end of the week, we might get to see that pop over that $18 range. And if that happens quickly, it can go to 20 to possibly even 22.77, and that's going to trigger at least in the short term a little bit of selling in the market. As of right now, VIX right here, I don't see why anybody should be going and opening and going long in the market. So dollar was pretty flat today, and you can see just hanging in there around that 98 zone. So as long as it's here, we might get to see some sort of a move, at least in the short term, back up to 98.95. It's just not much happening, guys. So we need to see if this thing falls below 98. In that case, we could be coming down and retesting 96. But as of right now, just staying flat for the day. Silver had another massive pump day. We're back to that high that we saw last week on Friday. So if this thing gets over 58, we might be going, especially up to that $60 range, maybe even 62. But things are just getting extremely, extremely overbought on these things, and that's where a pullback can come. And especially catch people off guard when they're chasing. GDX also, you can see. I mean, this thing again, today was a pullback nearly 1%, but it's trading over that 85 or just around that 85 range, previous all-time highs. If it comes down a little bit more, maybe it will find support around that 83.94. But so far, I mean, it's a pretty big move. We can see how big of a move gold and silver made. And if these things are actually going to pull back, it's going to happen because when things go really crazy to the upside and gets overbought, what happens? Blow off top, right? And I think that's what's coming, especially on silver, after maybe going up another, couple of dollars, but that thing's gonna come crashing down very soon. And even gold had that big move to the downside, and I think this one is also due for another, move to the downside. But perhaps it'll make another brand new all-time high, and then you're going to see, significant selling on gold and even silver.